Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my Dark Knights. This is the Bat Brand, and welcome to something a little different. It's been a minute since I've done one of these. This is one of two deck profiles I'm going to do here on the channel. Now, I will say this is one of the ones that is not complete yet. In this deck, I will tell you as I go through what I'm missing. But basically, this is just a run through on what I'm going to do. This is Ragnaraika, but not pure Ragnaraika. This is Ragnaraika Rikka Therian. Basically Ragnaraika plants. But Ragnaraika Rikka. I call it Raika Rikka. So try saying that 5 times fast. Bet you couldn't. But if you guys want to see more of this, there's another one that's going to go up probably Friday on the channel as a deck, as a new deck that most people don't normally see. But until the new support comes out. Now, there is new support that is coming out for this deck in info. I think it's a link 3, the tree, the link 6, I think it's the link 5 or the link 6 tree, which is going to help this deck immensely as well. And this deck is very powerful. We're just going to roll into the deck here, the deck list. Now, I will let you know this deck list is not complete, like I said. We're starting with the very first card, which is Ragnaraika the Evil Seed. There should be 3 of these bad boys in here. You're going to need to run 3 of it because it is the best 1-card starter in the deck. Basically, what this thing does is it lets you basically special summon it by sending one of your plant, reptile, or insect monsters from your hand to the graveyard, which honestly gets you started with any of your plays because sometimes these cards that are in here, if you have multiple of the Ragnarika Samurai Beetle, it can be a brick in your hand at times because you want to try and banish it with the combo with the Armored Lizard to, combo off a bit. And sometimes you do want to, pitch the pedal. If you have another pedal in your hand, a Rika pedal in your hand, and pitch off the pedal and stuff like that, and then it sets up your pedal for your next end phase, because then every end phase you will be able to, on your opponent's end phase, you'll be able to get back a pedal. So you will literally be able to get return on, on your resources the next term. And basically, I love the look of this card. The look of this card is literally one of the nicer cards I've ever seen. But on summon, it lets you add up to 2 different Ragnarika cards. Not that, and it's not that it's not just even in the deck. It's banished. So if you're getting them from banished, if you're getting them from your banished zone, they can't now this can be ashed. So ash is going to be the 1 card that does stop this. But Ragnarika the Evil Seed, very good card. Next, the other cards for the Ragnarika engine. 3 Samurai Beetle. It is the extender for the deck. You want to play this after your Armored Lizard because you want to go Evil Seed, send Armored Lizard, or not send Samurai, another copy of Samurai Beetle or any really plant or anything like that. Then Armored Lizard, banish it to special summon the Armored Lizard. Go, then Samurai Beetle, send one of the banished monsters, throw it back, which is his special summoned requirement to put it on the bottom of the main deck. And then this guy, basically what he does when he comes out is, basically, if he's sent to the graveyard as material, you can target a link level 4 lower in your graveyard and special summon it. So it kind of is like a Tri-Brigade, and that's why I love this, because Tri-Brigade is one of my more favorite decks in the entire game, because I love playing it with the, if you guys remember, Scareclaw. One of my favorite decks. Love playing it. And then this is the one we are playing the lower build of because we are playing more of a plant build. So we're playing more of a plant build, so we're going to try and not play as many as the Armored Lizard, just to use his effect to special him to use his effect for not only removal, because in this deck there is not a lot of removal, which it falters from. That's where this deck is very good at link climbing. It is very good at getting into big boys, but other than that, it loses to Nibiru, and it doesn't have a lot of removal, and that's where this guy kind of comes in, because basically you can discard one of insect, plants, or reptiles, and target a face-up card, and return to the hand. Not the best ability, but still, you're basically just using it for the extension purposes. Now, of course, we are playing our Seed Boy. We are playing our Loci. We're not playing Twin. I would have loved to play Twin, but that's fine. Just the Loci and the Sowing, just to get the Dryas combo going. That's pretty much it for that. Then we get started with the Rikka package. The Rikka package is 1 Primula, 1 Snowdrop, and these are the right ratios with really any build of Rikka. 2 Munin. I like 2 always. Don't ever go 3. Don't ever go 3. 3 Princess. It is your hand trap of choice in this deck. That's why in this deck you don't really need to play too many hand traps, because Rikka Princess is a hand trap, and it's not only from hand, it's from grave as well, or not from hand. Yeah, it's from hand or graveyard. So it's not only from hand, it's from graveyard as well, and you contribute one of your opponent's monsters for it if you have Concon up. And then the last card, of course, is Petal. Like I said earlier, Petal is one of the constant bodies on the field to get constantly, and Munin is just that starter to get you to, because you don't have to play Terraform in the deck, because you go Petal or you go Princess, you link off the Princess or the Petal, you go into Dryas, because you don't have to just do Loki, because you can Loki, but I'm the kind of person where I like to, that's the cool part with Dryas. I think Dryas is required if it's using Loci. So really, you're just really trying to link climb. So Loci, you're only using it for the Sunseed Sowing. That's all you're really using the Loci for. But yeah, that's really all you're using the Loci for. But let's get all the Rikkas out of here. Good job, girls. Because I think if you can create a board with both the links and maybe a teardrop, that's a pretty strong board, I would feel. And we don't have Baron, and we don't have other things. So one of the only really big Omni negates that are not Omni negates, but semi-Omni negates that out there anymore are the Therian package with the Therian King Regulus, and that is honestly the best card to play in here to get 2. This is the best line. I think 3 Lily, their extenders, their level 8s to get 2 Lily Borea, or not to get the Lily Borea, to get 2 Teardrop quickly. And also it gets you the field spell, and then you can get King Regulus very quickly, and then King Regulus just any Therian in the grave later after you link climb it up, just summon the King Regulus and you have a negate, and you don't have to worry about Nibiru. So, but you want to do it before your 5th summon. Like, you want to go through that first. So, but let's go ahead to just the basic extra engine cards. There's not many, but we're starting with the Serpentine Princess. Now, this card is funky with this deck because how this card works is it literally says that this face-up card is returned directly from the field to your deck. Special summon 1 level 3 or lower monster from your deck. Now, you use this in the combo for the Ragnaraikas. And how it works is with the Ragnaraikas, one of them is you can send a card. You can send a card either from field or grave back into the deck and special it summon back from grave. So you send this back and you basically get a level 3 or lower monster from your deck and you get to special summon any of them. So that's this little guy here, Lone Fire Blossom. So you can special Lone Fire Blossom, you can special Loci from the deck, you can special summon Petal, you can special summon I think even Beetle. You can special summon the Beetle. Or even a Seed. So you can get your play started again. But 9 times out of 10, you do want to go for the Lone Fire Blossom, because Lone Fire gets you to anything. So, it's just good. Those are just extenders for the deck. Then we get to the spells. Spells, sewing for the Loci, obviously. Con, best field spell. Obviously, if you're playing Rikka, you're going to want to play Con. That's just obvious. And if you're playing Con, you're going to want to spell or trap to search, right? So you're going to want Glamour, which is the best one to play with it. Because not only does this, with Con up, create a situation where your effects, like any Rikka effect or that requires to tribute a plant, you can tribute your opponent's monsters for, which doesn't really have a lot to stop in today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Other than like popping it with a spell and trap card. Glamour does the same thing, and not only do you get to tribute a monster for under Con, it's an add 1, but it's not just 1, you get to add 2 monsters for it, which is really nice. So basically in this deck, not only with the seeds are you adding 2, you're adding 2 with the glamours as well. Now, like I said, this thing doesn't have a lot of removal, so you are having to play a lot of removal. So I am playing removal. There's going to be more removal in here. Right now there's just Raigeki. There should be more Dark Ruler No Mores in here. Obviously but yeah, there'll be more Dark Rulers and there'll be just more board breakers in here, because I'm going to be focusing more on the board breakers than the hand traps, because Chain Coils, who we'll get into later, kind of harms you using hand traps because you can't use effects in hand. Therian's Field Spell for that. The Bloom, which is going to be maxed out at some point in this deck as well, because once per turn, that first effect does come up on this card a lot. But the Ragnaraika add every turn is really good, and not just that, but the special summon as well. You get a choice of either or. Now, I think that you can get away with playing 2 in these decks. In this build, I would say play 2. In pure build, I would say play 3. In that other Ogdoadic build, you can play 3, but I would say play 2 in the build that at this deck that I'm building here. All right, and then we'll get into the traps, and then go into the extra deck, and then wrap up the video. So, and since this deck doesn't have a lot of stuff like that, the sheet as well for which is a tribute 1, take 1, with and it becomes a plant. So you can use it for your plays for you, which that card's actually going to be very, very strong in this deck, because you can use it because it is a plant, you can use it for your Ragnaraika links in the grave. So very good. You can use it off of that if you use it on your turn. And also these will be maxed out because it is a solemn judgment for plants. You had to tribute them and basically negate anything. And then this is the final trap you're playing, which is Ragnaraika Hunting Dance, which is basically you just target a card up to the number of different monster types among the Lynx monsters you control. So max you're going to target is maybe like three or four, and pop the cards. And it also has another little funky effect that if it would be destroyed, like you could send it as well. You can banish this card and then target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it. So you can do that instead. Now, the extra deck. The extra deck is where things get... We'll start with the Xyz package. The Xyz package is very easy. You're playing 2 Strenna, 1 Hyperton for the Strenna upgrade into that. And because when Strenna's tributed off, normally you'd like to do it off a Teardrop or off of a Glamour or something. And then you can rank up into Hyperton. Or you can even do it off of a Polynosis for Negate. And then, end on Teardrop and Hyperton to have more negates off of that. So, which is very good. Hyperton is an amazing... I love the horse. I love my grass horse. Then we get into the Sun Avalon package. It's very small. Now, in this... I normally like to play Aromaseraphy Jasmine. Bangalancer I do not have at the moment, but Bangalancer needs to be in this deck as well. But Bangalancer would be in here. And then this guy's just a cheeky tech in Hazard Lizardos, just because he doesn't... Again, in this, there isn't much removal. And it also lets you draw. It also lets you draw a card if something was that was banished, that you banished was a reptile, you get to draw. That's really all he does, and he's just there for the link line. And then in this build, until the new Link 3 comes out in info, we have triple Skeletal Soldier, because he is the... In my eyes, this guy is the sprite elf of the deck. He gets your combos started. He's the guy who... He brings back a Ragnarok monster from your graveyard. He lets you special summon it. And then in the graveyard, he lets you target one and place it at the bottom, and he brings them back. All of them do that. But the Skeletal Soldier, I think, is a very good link, too. Then we do have 1 Mantis Monk. I was thinking at first, like, what to do. Now, these rules will change, and I'll show you why in a second, because right now, like, Skeletal Soldier will drop to 2 once I get Bangalancer in the tree, but, because right now we're playing, 2 Chain Coils, because of it. But Mantis Monk... He's here for the link climb, and he has he has an interesting effect where he lets you add the trap. Other than that, he doesn't do too much, so that's why he's only in there as 1. Then there is 2 Chain Coils. I think she's one of the more powerful ones in here because she's a Floodgate in a monster. Basically, if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can activate it. Neither player can activate the effects of monsters in the hand for the turn. So it hurts you from using monster effects in the hand. The big boy that we have, the good part is all these guys can come back. So, like, you can OTK very easily with all these bodies. Very easily, but with Tempai in the format, and also a certain lady named Yubel. Gotta worry about her. And then we got the big boy. We got Stag Sovereign. Now, this guy, he is the best out of all of them. I'm hoping the Link 3 helps it a good bit too. Because it's missing that little bit of something, because this guy does have a really, for a boss monster, he does have a really good effect. Because if a monster is special summoned from your opponent's deck and or extra deck, you can destroy 2 monsters on the field. And if this card is in your graveyard, you can target one, place it on the bottom of the deck, special summon him. And that's not if summoned. So it resets him. So it's a constant recursion, and you can constantly loop these guys and constantly use them. I do like the look of these monsters. I think they're very cool looking. Stag Sovereign kind of looks like an insect version of God, I can't think of his name. Okay, well, I'm gonna wrap up this video because we're already at 21 minutes. So yeah, and I got another video to do with these. So yeah, Stag Sovereign. I feel like this deck's just missing a little more, but I love the looks of these decks. I do think that. I mean, I got to play test it a little bit with my girlfriend, and it plays very well. I gotta say, I like how it link climbs very, very easy. How quickly it link climbs and everything. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching this deck profile. If you did enjoy, feel free, go ahead, hit that like button down below. And let me know if you want to see more of these types of videos. I'm going to do another one of these, so go to that video, give that a like. And yeah, and as always, stay awesome, my Dark Knights.